Hello and good evening. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Live at 5. I decided to change the name of my stream because you never know what we're going to be doing on the stream on a Sunday night. So this is now known as the DeWitt 3D Sunday Live at 5 stream. So that way I'm not locked into getting a specific project done, but it's going to be just as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. And I'm hearing myself talk. So I need to mute. There we go. So we have Jose Ferreras here in the first one, as always. Well, not always, but most times. And Sergio's here. HVAC Gate is Z. Non-Fam is here. Richard McLean is here. And I see who else? New intro. Yeah, just a little something I thought I'd try. That shows 9 people here. There's a few people talking in chat. So hello. So just as I was started, I got some interesting stuff to talk about on the RatRig. We're going to run a couple test prints tonight. No, I never got the accelerometer working, and I'll discuss that in a minute. Yeah, that's it's a mystery why I can't get it working. But I'll talk about that in just a second. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start what I started because we're just going to run a quick pressure advance test on this. I've got it all set up to do that. So let's go ahead and run the pressure advance test. Hey, 3D Medic Vince, and then we'll discuss the accelerometer issue. And maybe we will print a Cali Dragon as well if I can find. I have to download the model because all the old models are on the other computer. So let's see what we can do. Let me go and switch you guys to this camera. And then I'm just going to quickly go here. Actually, I don't have, give me 1 second. I'm going to put a button on my thing here so I can show you guys the display. Give me 1 sec here. Doop. We're finally kind of getting all caught up here. I have to pull over a scene. And that scene is going to be called display. And that's the display. There we go. So now that I have that there, I can actually just push this button and you guys get to see my display. There we go. So I have downloaded the LS tuning guide, and we are going to print this pressure advance test pattern. So, which is going to start printing right now. Let's go back over this camera. And I have pre-warmed the bed, so it's not going to take long to start up because, yeah. Hey, Nick. So this is going to print the pressure advance pattern from the LS file. In the meantime, I can talk about, so with the ADXL, I never got a hold of the Beacon folks this week. So what I decided to try, what you can see in this camera or not, is I have an ADXL 345 that I had lying around, a brand new one. So I quickly rigged up some wiring for it, plugged it into the Raspberry Pi, put the proper update into the config file, and it won't work. I keep getting an error, and I'll show you that error afterwards. Maybe somebody has an idea. It's an SPI error, and maybe somebody has an idea of what that error means, but it should work. I have everything hooked up correctly. So Prusa 3.5 upgrade went well, took around 3 hours, and it's well worth it. This thing is now, oh, nice. Okay, 3.5. I'm going to have to look at that, Sergio. Great. Because I do have my Prusa Mark III done, and it's probably a little less expensive than buying a whole new Mark IV. I had some bleed going on there. I had to get rid of that. So this should start printing any second with that guide. It doesn't do a skirt or anything on it. So, and we are at temperature. There we go. So we're going to print this pattern, try our pressure advance. I think I'm still a little too close to the bed. Yeah, oh no, I'm pretty good now. Oh, that's good. That's a good Z offset. So that's going to print, and we'll see what our pressure advance settings should be. And then we'll try and look and see if we can get the some other tuning going. Were you guys laughing at me because I burned my hand? Haha. Didn't burn my finger. Too bad. Just a little bit. But this thing's printing good. It just needs to be tuned. And if I can't get the accelerometer working, man, I don't know. Dual streaming. Steve, yeah, Steve is on. I know he's doing a CNC. I believe it's a CNC that he's making. So he's gone over 5 hours now. So yeah, definitely what he's doing is probably a little more impressive than what I'm doing. But hey, I was watching Steve for a little bit today. Yeah, that definitely needs a bit of tuning. Watching this flow, my first layer height's okay, but we'll see how this test goes, and then we'll move on to a couple other tests that he's suggested. 6 hours he's at now, huh? That is a very RatRig toolhead. It is, isn't it? It's a very RatRig toolhead. All the different colors. What do you see? Orange, gray, blue, black in there. So, thanks, Andrew. So we are running the Ellis tuning to the Ellis Pressure Advance Linear Advanced Calibration tool here. So, and we're going to be running a couple of the Ellis tuning things here. So I thought I'd get this one out of the way. And what does he suggest after this one? Extrusion multiplier. Let's see what he's saying about extrusion multiplier. And let's do one thing at a time. Pressure advance, linear advance. Saving your value. Yeah, so we'll go in and see what pressure advance setting we have now compared to what pressure advance setting he is going to recommend. Hey, Stephen Labad. Good evening. It's looking pretty good. When I'm done this, we'll have a look at the pressure advance. We'll get that number figured out, but then I also want to show you guys the error I'm getting with the input shaper. Because I have an ADXL that I was going to mount right to there where you see those two holes, but it's not recognizing it. So RatRig loves to encircle the X-rail. It does. That's the EVA 3 mount. So the EVA 3 is great because you can put virtually any tool head, any extruder on it. So okay, now we get our numbers putting down. Hey, Cliff D. Let's see if I can do this while this is running. This one. There we go. I'll just make that smaller and put that up there instead. Okay, this is almost done. Just finishing, and then we're going to pick one. What we're looking for is the sharpest corner. So we don't want it to be too flat. We don't want it to be too round. Now, they do say to pick your value and then you can fine tune it even more, but I don't know. Personally, I've done it and it's really, really hard to tell the difference. And one more. Should almost be done. Oh, we're going to go over it one more time. Okay, a few layers. Who's there? Anybody in there? Hello? Hello? So I hope everybody had a good week. We're finally getting into some spring weather here. We're warming up. Everything is melting. I can stand down here without a jacket today and yesterday. It was pretty nice. And I think this will be the last one. We should be done here shortly. No, we're doing another one. Holy crap. How many layers does this thing do? Look at that go. It was snowing there in Toronto. Was it, Stephen? Wow. Coldest week in the last 6 years. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. In Portugal. Well, we're finally, what spring is, we moved our clocks ahead today. So we sprung ahead. We're one of those places that unfortunately has to move our clocks ahead an hour in the spring. So we lost an hour of sleep, but we get an hour extra. You know, the days are, or the nights are that much brighter later in the evening. So that was this morning. Thank goodness all the computers and smartphones automatically update themselves, because it totally blanked on me until later in today, and I thought, oh, so I had to go change the stove, and I'll have to change my car. Knowing me, I'll get in my car, go to work tomorrow, and say, man, I'm late or early. No, I'll think I'm early. Anyways, so there we go. Okay, that's done. I'm just gonna lower this bed. Let's just lower the Z. Well, it looks like Clipper hasn't caught up. It hasn't caught this. It's only 88. It's still moving. I think my Clipper connection's a little bit. There you can see all the pressure advanced settings over here. So I can pull that. Okay, so I'm just going to lower this 100 millimeters or so we can have a look at it. There we go. Okay. Let's just pull the whole bed off of here. Oh, blinded. That's a big bed. I mean, that's massive. Okay. Let's put this down. Let's have a look. We'll see if I can get a camera down there to show you. Man, that's so hard to read those numbers too. But anyways, let's see if I can't get a camera down here to show you how these look. And hopefully this will focus. Okay, let's do this. Here's what we look like. And it is so hard. Let's move in a little closer. It's hard to read these numbers. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 0.5, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, and 0.8, I believe. So what we got to look for, okay, I'm just going to switch back over here. This is, I can't seem to hold this really steady, but maybe if I put it down and do this, I wonder if I can get you guys a better look at this if I do something like, doesn't want to, or let's, yeah, that might work. That might work. There we go. Hey, Richard McLean with $5. Thank you so much. I have to give you, you know what?
Super chat.
Thank you so much, Richard McLean. I appreciate that. Teza, you're late. You were on Steve's stream. He went long. Steve went really long today. He went really, really, really long. Okay, let's have a look at this. So just from what I'm seeing, yeah, these numbers are hard to read, but we got 0, we got 0.2. Oh man, these are hard to read. But I'll be able to look on the slicer and see. But I'm just going to look. What I'm looking for is they're a little bit rounded up here. And here we have some extrusion problems going on. So I'm looking in, probably in around this guy here, which looks like it is, man, I wish I could read that. 0.08, I think. Let me see what that says. Actually, I can probably read it easier on the camera. 0.06. No, I can't tell. I cannot tell. 0.02 looks pretty good, you say. 0.02, which is looking, I think I've got it upside down, 0.01, 0.02. Ah, there, I can read them from this angle. Aha. So we look at 0.02, which is right in here, which is right here. Yeah. And I agree with you. 0.02 looks reasonable. Yeah, those numbers are hard to read. They almost need to be done. You're too high. The corners are rounded off up at 0.06. Yeah, I was too high with that. Yeah. I'm having trouble reading these numbers. Yeah, we got rounded corners up here. And so, yeah. God, these are... It depends on the angle I get at that I can see this. But yeah, I believe we're at 0.02 right here, which is coming up right to here. Sorry, this one right here. Anyways, right in this area here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll go back over here. And if we look at the instruction, it is going to be under extruder and under pressure advance. So we're going to go back over here. We'll go under the printer config. Yeah, you can see it's lagging right here when it comes to open the config. So there we go. And then we're going to look under extruder. Which is, let's just do a search. It might be buried in RatOS. Let's just see if I can find pressure advance here. Oh, there we are right here. And let's close this. And there's pressure advance right here. So we can uncomment this. And we can set the pressure advance to 0.02. Let's see what else you said. 0.2 was okay. 1.5 might be okay. 0.15 or 0.02. Yeah. Let's do 0.15. 0.2 would have worked. 0.15, sorry. Yeah, 1.5 is going to be a good reading, isn't it? Yeah. 0.15. Death Cube with the Orbiter 2 and the EVA 305 looks in the ballpark. There we go. Okay, let's save and restart. Should have no problems restarting this. And now that that's done, I'm going to show you guys what's going on. Let's get back over to this one here. Let's get this camera back up. We'll just peel this off the bed. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then I'll show you what's going on with the accelerometer. The ADXL 345. I'm not sure what's going on, what I'm doing wrong. It's an error I'm not familiar with. This bed is hard to line up sometimes. It's so flexible and flimsy and thin, and it's big. That'll work. That's good enough. Okay. So what I've done here is I went ahead and found I had a new ADXL 345. We've wired it up, no problem. Wired it up properly according to the Clipper documentation. Let me share that with you and show you, just in case you guys can pick up on something I might have done wrong. I believe it is in here under, let's see. I believe I went under resonance tester. That's where I found it. Okay, so no, that's not where I found it. It's I'm trying to find the wiring diagram just to show you the one I used. Man, this is a lot of stuff. It's not the one I wanted. Maybe if I search ADXL. Anyways, you'll have to. I had it open just a second ago. So what's going on here? This is it right here. So right there is the way I wired it, because we have an ADXL 345 chip. The pin configuration right there is exactly as my pin configuration. Okay, and then we wired it up and plugged it into the Raspberry Pi, and this is showing a Pi 4B, which is the board I have. Okay, so you'll see that what I did here, we have this wired up correctly to the best of my knowledge. So if I go ahead and get this in here, so right in there is where we plugged it into the Pi. It was the 9th pin down, and we got those wires all wired up correctly. 6 different cover, like 6 colors, 6 wires. You see what I did there? Yeah. Okay. So that's all kind of hooked up properly. And then before I plugged it onto the hot end, it doesn't matter. So I've got the ADXL on here, plugged into the Pi. I did turn the power off when I plugged it into the Pi and plugged it into the board. And I thought, okay, let's just test it. Let's do an accelerometer query before I mount it and everything, because now that it's hooked up, it should know that the accelerometer is on there if I just set it down and leave it. So what happens when I do the accelerometer query, or actually no, let's take a step backwards here. I went in. My image might be in the way here. Let me go ahead and move this up over here. Why am I on there twice? I don't need to be on there twice. Let's get rid of that one. Let's delete I'm going to delete me out of there. Yes. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to delete this. Why did it delete my display? Oh my goodness. I'm so organized, I'm telling you guys. There we go. There's my display. Okay. So in here in the printer config, well, first of all, let's go back over to here. So we get it all hooked up. Okay, everything's hooked up. This one's a little different here too. Oh, that's the RPI. And did I use this as a 12C accelerometer? So that's for a different accelerometer. Okay. So then we went down here and add the following to the printer config file. So we have the Raspberry Pi MCU, we have the ADXL pin, RPI none, et cetera, et cetera. So we have to add this part to the printer config. We've already done NumPy and all that stuff that we had to do in order to recognize the ADXL. So NumPy and all that stuff's been done. So if we go into the printer config, go down here, and I've disabled it now, but I'm going to enable it now. So we still didn't get the beacon one going for resonance testing. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to disable all that. Okay. And here is the part that we added based on the clipper configuration. So we're going to uncomment all those. The only thing I changed in here was my bed, the measuring point of 250 by 250 to be the middle of the 500 millimeter bed. Otherwise, this entire section here for the ADXL is what it is. It's copied directly from there. So now what happens if I save and restart, I get an error. And don't make me a liar. Where's my error? There we go. I get an unknown SPI bus, SPI3. I have no clue what it is. I've tried to look it up. I can't figure out what's going on with that. There's nothing in the printer config that talks about SPI bus. So I have no idea what that is. Now, if I go ahead, it's got something to do in the printer config. If I go ahead and comment out the ADXL, this one here, if I comment this section right here out, okay, and do a save and restart, it doesn't come up with that error. So I don't know what's causing that error, what's in that line that's causing that error. It doesn't cause the error, but at the same time, again, if I try and accelerometer query, I get nothing. I get the same error saying the accelerometer is either not there, wired improperly, et cetera, et cetera. So that is what that's what I'm facing. And I have no clue how to get around that. So until I can figure that out, I'm not going to be able to do resonance testing on this printer. So until I get that figured out, or until I figure out what's going on with the, those Moonraker errors are old. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to just comment all that out again so that I can at least print. I just won't be able to do anything with the accelerometer. Yeah, the same issue. It was a bad cable. Oh, really? What the SPI error? Using a shorter cable can help. Well, I can't go much shorter because, well, I wonder, the SPI error shouldn't have anything to do with the cable though. Because as I say, if I bring this back in, which needs to be in here, it's the ADXL CS pin, and it's basically saying the pin is the RPI. Now, I wonder if none. I don't know if that none needs to be there because it just needs to know that's going on the RPI. It's something to do with this that's causing that SPI error. So the SPI is referring to the SPI bus, shouldn't be used. I have no idea what an SPI bus is. Shouldn't be used. So there's something's causing it to try and find the SPI bus in here. I don't know if I get rid of the word none. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know enough about this. But you'd think the pin, all it would need to point to is the Raspberry Pi. Possibly. Don't know. But I'll probably still get, you hooked your ADXL to Octopus board, not the Pi. I'm going to get the same error there, I think, anyways. Similar to the 12C bus. Yeah, pin RPI is not a valid pin name on MCU. So yeah, so it's almost like it's looking to see where I plugged it in to the Pi. There's not a valid pin name, which is fine, but the pin name none, which I commented out, but the pin name none obviously isn't working either, right? So, but there's nothing in here that tells me otherwise based on going on these pin configurations right here. So, and that's just for ADXL 345 boards, that one right there. So, yeah. Yeah, via SPI. You need to connect your ADXL to your Raspberry Pi via SPI. Note that the 12C connection, which is suggested by ADXL documentation, has too low throughput and will not work. The recommended connection scheme. So maybe have I got it hooked up to the wrong spot? So RPI pin. Because isn't the power for the for some reason I thought they were hooked up further up, but obviously not. And it looks like it's got a similar pin configuration. Did you command line in and sudo rasp config and interface options and enable? Did you command line in and sudo rasp config interface options enable SPI? I believe I did. Let me just double check that. Let me double check that. Let me go ahead and bring Putty up. I'm pretty sure I did, but I will double check to make sure. Okay, 10.0.194. Oh, I think I typed the password wrong. There we go. So sudo rasp. Okay. Okay, and it was the interface option, if I'm not mistaken. And then SPI, enable, disable the SPI kernel module. So I went enter. Would you like the SPI interface to be enabled? Yes. SPI interface is enabled. And then we go okay. And then we finish. And we should be good. So it is enabled. And I did go through this, yes. So SPI has been enabled. Then I went through and I went ahead and I restarted the, I actually rebooted the whole, I shut down and rebooted did a hard restart on the printer. And I was coming up with the same error, which is right there. Unknown SPI bus, SPI3. So I'll try it again. So we went here, we shut down. Okay, so we have to close this. Okay, so we'll close this. So we shut down and then we'll reboot the printer again. I'll try it again. Doesn't hurt to try it again. And so we shut the printer down. Look at the new RatOS docs. Okay. I did not do that. And we'll start the printer back up. And in the meantime, there are new RatOS docs. You don't need to turn SPI on in Clipper. Okay. Okay. RatOS docs. Let's see what we have here. Let's see, where are they? Documentation, here we go. Just specific info for ADXL. Let me look it up. Here's the introduction. Let's see. Configuration. See if I can find, do they have a search feature here? Yeah, ADXL. There we go. Oh, so you can hook it up directly to our board. See ya, Jose. Take care. Thank you. CS pin, PA15 SPI bus. Okay. This is the RatOS way. Okay, so which board are they putting it on here? Okay, I see. So I've got the six wired up fine at the ADXL. So I need to plug this into which, I wonder which board they're showing here. Oh, that's the SKR Pro 2 board. I would need to find the pinning on that for the ADXL on the Octopus board. Okay, I see here. Okay. I have the Octopus 1.1. What's Guy the Jedi saying here? ADXL 345 CS pin. Now, is that, let's just launch this up again here. Let's go to the machine. Let's go to printer config. Maybe I need to wire this up because I'm running RatOS. Maybe I need to wire this up directly to the Octopus. Maybe that's the issue. CS pin, or should I try a different CS pin? PA15 SPI bus. Let's try what you were suggesting there just to see for fun. Further down the page for the board. Oh, really? Oh, okay, let's have a look. SKR Rat V2 previous. Big Tree Tech. Oh, hang on a minute. Where did you see further down the page for the board? Look on the left side. Oh, over here. Oh, I see. Okay, Octopus 1.1. Oh, there we are. Okay, I see where you're seeing. Okay, there we are. There's the Octopus 1.1. What is the F407 Octopus 1.1? I don't know. I think I just have the plain Octopus 1.1. So there's the ADXL. Okay, so let's zoom into this because I cannot see that. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Oh man, that's hard to see. My eyes are just awful. Okay, so what I'll do, okay, I can kind of see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I see where the 6 pins are going. Okay, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's close. Let's just shut the printer down so I can unplug. We'll do a shutdown here. There we go. Okay. Good. I didn't see that. So let's go ahead here and we're going to unplug this from the Pi, which is fine. Okay. And just, I may need to obviously rewire these things here, but that's okay. But I actually have red, blue, and then they have green. And I actually have the exact wire sequence they have, green, yellow, orange. So over here, I have the actual pin colors wired exactly as they are in that diagram. So it's going to make things easier. The RatOS tuning page shows you what you need to do. Okay. All you see in the pick is a rainbow heading across the board. What pick? Where? This? Yeah, right here is where we're going to plug it in on the board is right here. Now, can I get a little bigger? No, that's smaller. I don't want to go smaller. I want to go bigger. I want to go bigger. Look, magnify. Let's do this. No. It's not as big as you're going to pull it in for me. Come on. That's as big as I can zoom it in. Okay, fair enough. Unless they have sometimes they have a link to a bigger page. Let's see. Open full size image. There we go. Oh, this might work. So I can make that even bigger. Aha. This is what I like. There. For guys like me with the eyesight that I have, see that anyway. Not going to see that too good. So what I need to do, this is just taking way too long to get this going, but what the heck. So I need to pull these pins out, and I can still use my pins, my connectors. I just have to get some new plugs to put them in. So I'm just going to pull these connectors out, because that looks like I'm going to need, I can use some 2-pin connectors to get all these things hooked up. And then I just got to find exactly where on the board they're pointing to, which I believe is right there. Why is this still on? Because I got to turn the power on the printer off. Come on, lights, turn off. There we go. Okay. So where they're pointing to, where this plugs in, where we're going to configure the wires for, is right there. These pins right here. There's 8 pins right there. We're going to be using, oh no, there's 10 pins there. We're going to be using 6 of them to hook up the ADXL according to that diagram. So let's do it. So we're going to pop off. This end has the ADXL. I'm just going to grab my very sharp, pointy knife and pull these pins off, or pull these wires out. Which should be very simple to do. There we are. And then we'll pull this other one out. There's just 2 on this one, the black and the blue. Okay. Oh, lesson learned. With RatOS, I cannot use the Raspberry Pi to plug my ADXL in. Okay, so now, according to the diagram, we're going to connect, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can just use a 3-pin header. 2 3-pin headers, I think, if you want to call them that. So I should be able to use 2 of these triple headers. That's a quadruple. Actually, I've got lots. Actually, I'm going to use, how many pins are going across? 5? 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm going to use a 5-pin header just so it plugs in the whole thing, but we're just going to wire up only the 3 on each header that need to be wired in. Okay, so why is that so bright? Okay, we're going to come down here. My fingers. I got to turn that. Not so bright. That's too bright. There we go. That's better. And we'll zoom out a bit. There we go. I love my camera angles. Okay, so we're going to take the 5-pin header, and this one is going to be red, yellow, blue. So we're going to start from this side, red, yellow, blue. Okay, red. Get in there. Oh, these things. I had a little issue with crimping these things, and they tended to be a little bit wide. Okay, red. There we go. Yellow. It's nice when you have the proper actual wire colors too, and blue. Come on, get in. Get in. Bugger. Okay, I gotta pop that one out. Here we go. Okay, I gotta just gotta recrimp this blue one. There it is, red, yellow, blue. And then the other one is going to be black, green, orange. Okay. Black. Good, cooperated well. Green, that's still a bit dark, isn't it? Bugger. If they're not quite tightened down properly, the end of the it won't go in all the way. That one doesn't want to tighten down. There, that should do it. There we go, and then orange. Okay, so those pins are all on. Okay. So now we will go ahead and let's see if I can zoom in for you here. This is the side camera. I should be able to take this one and zoom it in. Where is my... Okay, come on. Link controller. There we are. Okay, good. Okay. And there we are there. So I'll have 26 people. Awesome. Now, if I go ahead and zoom, is this going to be the right camera? No, it's not zooming the right camera. Switch camera. Come on. 33 BW, that one. Now this should zoom in. There we are. Okay, So is that going to be, yeah, anyways, it gives you a good enough idea. So we need the red, yellow, blue on top and black, green, orange on the bottom, starting from the left. So red, yellow, blue, black, green, orange. So we'll put the bottom one in first. On there, and then the red, yellow, blue on there. Now what I could have done, now that I've thought about it, and I just thought about it, and I could always change it out after, is I could have put it on, I could have just put it on this. I could have put it on a 10-pin header, and then that way it's just one plug. But just didn't think of that. Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now I should be able to fire this back up. We're on there, no problem. Good. We'll fire this back up. But then I'm going to have to do a different bit of configuration so it knows where to look for the ADXL 345 now. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see what the documentation says about that while we're waiting for this thing to fire up. Okay, so let's go bring that back. Okay, firmware installation. It should tell me something. Sure. So I need to tell it where the ADXL is plugged in now. But it's not. So this should tell me somewhere up with the Clipper firmware installation. Follow the steps in RatOS configurator. See what we come up. Yeah, so it's a dead page. Great. Let's see if I can find the configuration. And it's going to be the dead page again, it figures. Okay. Well, let's boot this up. Of course, we're going to get that Clipper error, SPI bus. So now I need to be able to tell it I need to have the pin number on that. So that is going to be, let's go to the BTT board. And that is pin, let's see, that is right there. And that is J74 is where we're plugged in. But is that what I want to put for a pin number? Is it that simple that I tell it it's J74? That I'm not sure. Let's see. Is that how the other ones are? Maybe. Evening projects in Dad's garage. Boy, do I ever have some lag. No, not a valid pin. Didn't think so. Didn't think that was right. Yeah, so it's not J74. So I got to figure out how to tell it where that is. That was just a rookie guess. So let me just keep reading through here somewhere. Okay, so we have it in that pin right there. So where it is in J74, and in J74 we have SPI 3. What was the pin set to earlier? It wasn't. Oh, let's look. Actually, that's a lie. If I go, that's a lie. If I go to the RatOS and printers and 3 V-Core 3, and if I go down to the input shaper config, oh, it's just the resonance tester. This isn't telling it where the pin is. That's not telling it where the pin is. Okay. And this one here where it's saying RPI none, that's just what I copied from the Clipper documentation. It'll be a RatOS default pin. Yes, which is what I'm trying to find out. Let me look up a RatOS configuration. Maybe let's see if it's maybe let's find the document. Let's find the printer config, the default printer config for RatOS. You're looking on your machine as well. Yeah, okay. I'm going to find the default, try and find the default configuration for RatOS, and it should be there. Print hub, vCore 3 RatOS config, caps lock. That's okay. I knew you weren't yelling at me. Okay, let's look in the default config here. Toolhead, input shaper, include printers, of course, include config printers, vCore 3 input shaper config. Okay, and let's go down to accelerometer here, input shaper, ADXL 345. On the right side of the extruder motor, yeah, fair enough. Not finding it here. Okay. Let me find F. ADXL 345. Let's find the next one. No, I'm not finding it here at all. So maybe what I need to do is find the original. It shouldn't be this difficult. But it's me making it more difficult. So I'm going to say, okay, RatRig ADXL input shaper config. That's not RatRig. That's going to take me right where I was just now. Yeah. Normally it would go through the configurator. Yeah, well, I'm trying to find the original configuration. but it's not, you know, it might have been in here and then I got rid of it when I put the beacon in. But let's just see if it is anywhere here. Let's go ahead and do a search here. To use the toolboard JDXL 345 for resonance testing input shaper, uncomment the following: include RatOS toolboard. Wonder if I have to uncomment that. Okay, toolboard input shaping config. Okay, so let's uncomment that. I'm just going to save and close. I want to look for something here. Toolboard config. So it's the RatOS toolboard config. I want to find that. So that's the printers and V-Core 3 toolboard config. That's going to be the steppers config, macros config, V-Core 3. It's not there. I need to find the toolboard config file. Initial setup. No. Boards. Toolboard config. Here we are. There's nothing in here about the ADXL though. No. Well, this is a struggle. Okay. The struggle is real. Where did I see that? Use this if you have an ADXL connected to your control board, which I do. Okay, so we'll uncomment this one. And I believe we can just comment back out this one. No, hang on. Toolboard ADXL, which we're not. We're using a separate ADXL. So we'll comment that one out. Find the next one. We've uncommented that because we have one connected to the control board. And then the next one is this one here, which we've got to take that off because we're not connected to the RPA, the Raspberry Pi anymore. So I'll comment all that out. And ADXL acceleration chip, that should be fine. And then ADXL resonance testing configuration. So, okay, we're going to take that out. We're going to take this out. Resonance tester, we don't want to be redundant on this, so we're going to actually take this one out, take all these out. And then, and that should be good. Okay. See if we get an error here. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we got another error. Okay. Parsing errors. Line 153. Printer config. Okay. 153. That was not line 153. But it was something to do with here, probe points. Let's just get rid of all these. Okay. Why is that coming up with an error? Let's see how many viewers have I dropped. Let's see. Oh, lots. Yes, there we go. Okay. Matrix coding time again. Yes, it is, Mike. This is not fun. I'm half of the battle is I don't know what I'm doing, but the other half of the battle is I don't know what I'm doing. But that should not be giving me an error there. Resonance tester probe points. Oh, that's why. That's why I got to take that off too. That is why. Okay, there we go. So we got no errors. But let's just see if it tells me that there's an accelerometer on here. We found the accelerometer. Look at that. Look at that. We got it to work. Hallelujah. Okay. So we now recognize the accelerometer. Okay. That was a long way around doing things, but what the heck? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook it up. And I'm not leaving this as a permanent thing, but I'm just going to hook it up to the hot end. And we're going to test some acceleromeration. Do I need heat insets? No, I don't. Those are going to be self-tapping. I just need some small M3s. Probably 8 millimeters will probably suffice. No, 6 millimeters will work. 6 millimeter cap heads, button heads. Hallelujah. I think I'm stubborn. I don't give up on this stuff. I knew I'd eventually get it. People out there watching me going, he doesn't know what he's doing. So, okay, so I'm going to, if I switch over to this guy, is this guy still on there? It is still on there. Whether it's focused or not is another question. It looks focused enough. You guys can squint. So I'm going to take this guy. So we start with orange and then blue. So we're going to unplug these. I'm going to fix the accelerometer to here with these self-tapping screws. Okay. That's what makes us who we are, DeWitt. You sure do hate giving up on projects. Yeah, no, I would never give up on this. I want this printer to print, and I want this printer to print beautifully. Okay. There we go. And again, on this one, I should have been able to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, although those pins are crooked when I put them on. So orange and blue. So we go orange and blue. There we go. So we are hooked up. I will just temporarily run this wire through my little hanger doomer up here, which you cannot see. And then that way it's kind of staying out of the way. We'll take it off before we run filament through. Okay, now we should be able to accelerometerate. You guys like my words? Accelerometer rate. Now we should be able to accelerometer rate the printer. So let's go ahead and forget the commands. We're just gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat on the look on the measuring resonances. Here we go. Now I don't do the chart thing. Okay. Some people do. I don't do this. I can't read this for the life of me. This looks too scientific and too I don't know. This looks just too complicated for me. Somebody out there saying, it's simple. It's not. So what I do is I come down and I do I cheat. I go ahead and I do, okay, where is it? Where is it? Testing custom. It's called auto calibration. This one here. That's what I do. Drives your husband crazy. Every time he brings up the problem, I want to fix it. Most of the time, he just wants to complain. So, but first, what I need to do is I needed to, there's a couple commands I need to run first. And that's up here in testing the accelerometer and test resonance axis. Pico, no. Bear with me, I know this is going by fast. Accelerometer query is what I want to do, which I believe I just did. Accelerometer query. We passed our query, and then there's one more thing I have to check to make sure it's within the numbers. Okay, and it was measure axis noise. That's what it is. Measure axis noise. And it has to be within, sure. If I spelled it right, it would help, wouldn't it? It's me and my spelling. Right mouse click and copy. I spelled axis wrong. AXIS. Now enter. That's going to measure the noise that's presently available. So we are 16.028, 48.72, and 12.26. We are supposed to be within, somewhere in between 1 and 100. 1,000 and more, it can be indicative of in-sensor issue. So we are definitely between 1 and 100. We are 48, 16, and 12. Use the RatOS macro. Oh, is there a macro here somewhere? Where? Where's the RatOS macro? What am I missing? Scripts, debug. Whoops. Change host name, compile firmware, unload filament, load filament, M600. Where's the macro, Stephen? While you type where the macro is, I'm going to look and see that other command, the automatic calibration. It's in the generate graphs button. Oh, it is? Generate graphs button. Generate graphs. Bear with me, bear with me. Generate shaper graph. Oh, yeah, but that's not going to automatically do it for me. Macro-roni. This might not do what I want it to do, though. It's going to give me those pictures, and I don't like those pictures. Those pictures confuse me and scare me. It's going to scare me. Okay, well, let's let it do what it's doing here. So we're doing some resonance testing now. We're shaking. We're shimmying, and rolling. Put my tools away so I don't drop them or forget them. Okay. It's still a mystery to me why I can't get the the ADXL on the beacon working, but that's okay. And it's not that it's not like we do resonance testing every single print. Just when I move the printer back to its home, I'll have to do a final one again. You only need to see what it recommends. But you got to look at the chart to see that, don't you? Or is this going to show me that whole? Is this going to show me that whole thing again? Yeah, it might show me the whole thing, like the automatic one. Anyways, we're vibrating. I'm glad it's working. I think the belt was flapping there a little bit. Check your focus, but it could be me. Oh, it could be you, but no, it's probably me. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Is that better? No, I'm kidding. Because my screen is so far away. That's a little off. What I need is a camera up there that auto focuses. That's a little better. Your wife and I have come to an agreement that if she comes to you and says, I have to tell you something, and I respond to you, do I have to listen or just let you talk? I like that. I inspired you to install the beacon on your V-Core 3. Awesome, Stephen. Good. Well, I am going to do a video on this whole beacon process and what it's going to do and how I like it on this 500 mil printer. So hopefully that video will get some views and inspire some people, because it is a hell of a lot better than when I had the BL Touch on it. When I did the initial build and the BL Touch, you would probe, but you're probing a 500 millimeter bed and it's probing like 64 points. It's like go have dinner before your print starts type thing. So, okay, so what is that flapping? I wonder if that's my belt flapping. I got a couple pieces of belt. You can't really see them on camera there, but I got a couple pieces of belt hanging there. Yeah, you can see the one you can see the one on this side. I don't want to cut them because if I ever have to remove the belts or change my tool head. You got called away, Tessa? Okay. Hey, Zenbender. Oh, you're at 1080p and the bit rate goes to crap, making it look blurry. Is it bit rate on my end? That's what I'd like to know. My stream. Let me look at the YouTube. Oh man. Let's see if I go to my channel. Yeah, it looks crappy. Now, that is really, yeah, I'm looking at the live feed of it and it looks really crappy. Now, is that my end? Is that maybe I've got too many things going on the computer? Dropping installing since the beginning. Huh. I wonder why that is. I wonder what's going on. I apologize for that, guys. Called on YouTube here myself. My end or the server. Yeah, it could be my ISP because last week was perfect, wasn't it? I wonder if because I am hardwired to the internet on here. Let's just double check something here. I wonder if my Wi-Fi is having an issue, and if my Wi-Fi is over. What's going on here? Um, oh, it's from my landlord. I can't either. Okay, well, I'll continue just till 7 o'clock, and then I'm not. Yeah, I wonder if there's an issue with my internet because it's my end is extremely slow. My clipper screen is coming on and off. Um, yeah, I think it's something to do with my ISP or my internet here. Network access. Let's just see. I'm connected. I'm gonna connect. I'm not connected wirelessly. Let's connect wirelessly and see if that changes something. I'm connected with a hardwired, but hardwired should be good. And now, of course, when I try to connect wirelessly, it's not connecting. So there's definitely something going on with my internet here. Yeah, yeah, on my end. Yeah, yep. Something going on my end with my internet. There it goes. Okay, there's that. Okay, let me look at another live stream here. Somebody else that's live just to see. His stream looks fine. Okay, but it is buggy. Yeah, there's something going on with my internet. Stream settings. Let's see what YouTube says. Stream health. Says the stream is excellent. Stream health is excellent. Yeah, something's going on. Anyways, okay, we'll just yeah, that's okay. Issues are issues. It happens. So we'll just have to work with what we got. So here's my here's what it's going to recommend. Here's the results of the resonance testing. We'll just get this all finished and then we'll call it a stream, and I'll have to figure out what's going on. But I need a pen to write something down. So it's gonna. Okay, so ZV frequency. To avoid too much smoothing, suggested max acceleration. Yes, the ADXL is going right now, but obviously I have some streaming issues, some internet issues. So so I got to figure out how to read this. The other one I do gives me different readings. This one's not really recommended. Shaper is MZV. There we are. So it's going to recommend MZV. Okay, and then MZV fitted shaper, MZ frequency, vibration, smoothing. To avoid too much smoothing with ZV, suggested maximum acceleration is 15,200. Max Excel. And then that is that for X? That should be for X. And then for Y, recommended shaper is 2-hump EI. No, it's pixelated. This is crazy. Um, I can't even get my own screen to look good. So there's definitely something going on. It's taking me like literally 30 seconds for a website to come in. So there's something going on with my internet. Yeah, something going on with my internet, guys. Yeah, it is creepy slow. It was much better before this. Yeah, my internet is stalling big time. Windows wants an update, you think? I am running, just so you guys know, I'm assuming you can hear me. So this PC I am running is an Intel Core i7 6700 CPU, 3.4 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM, 64-bit operating system. So we're running we have a pretty good computer here, but yeah, good. At least you can hear me. So we have a decent computer. It's running Windows 10 Pro, 32 gigs of RAM, i7. I'm not a PC expert by any stretch of the imagination, but perhaps it's yeah, see even that look, that's how it's coming in for me. You can see what it's looking like for me. Crappy. So wow, that's awful. That's embarrassingly awful. So I think I'm going to call it then. There's no sense moving on. I can't even see what's going on. What kind of internet connection do you have? It's I'm with Shaw Internet. It's hooked up directly to the computer. I have wireless and I have hardwired. Reboot the modem. Is it a shared connection like cable? It is. Yeah, it's definitely my internet connection. But it looks like, from what I haven't heard any complaining from upstairs, so they're able to stream fine. Speed test after you stop streaming. Why not now? Speedtest.org. Let's see. See what my speed test does. Not that you'll be able to see it. Okay, that's not working. Okay. Reboot the compute. Yeah, maybe. Speed test isn't even working. Okay, don't go away. Okay, let's see if this is going to fix anything. Let's just see if I'm back. Am I back? Let's see. $1080p. I'm still blurry. It's blurry. I'm still blurry. Okay. I'm breaking up slightly. Speedtest.net now. Let's see. Let's see if this does anything go. I should be at 100. No, there's something going on with my internet provider. Yep, that's too slow. Way too slow. Upload is faster than download. No, something going on. Something going on there. Hey, Jack. Yeah, much faster than that on a normal given day. So I'm going to 10.0.0.194. Let's hook back up to the printer. Let's go ahead and run shaper calibrate and enter. We'll do this again, and then we'll get the shaper going. And that'll be kind of good. There I am. I realize you probably don't have the best image to look at right now, so that took me a while to oops. Yeah, that's terrible. That's awful. Yeah, it should be, yeah. Now we'll just do input shaper here, and then I'll call it. It's going to be early. I'm going to have to figure out the internet problem. Maybe I'm streaming. Maybe we've been streaming too much. Yeah, I got input. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. It wasn't complete disaster. Input shaper's up and running. It's working. I was hoping to do a test print, but I'm not going to do a test print because if you can't see quality in my stream, quality is crap. There's no sense trying a test print tonight. We'll get the internet fixed up and we'll just do this. We'll just pick up on this next week. Try doing that update. I don't think there was an update for Windows, or was there? Let's see. Well, we're looking at this. Let me see if Windows did show an update available. Maybe I should update to Windows 11. Windows Update. Let's see what it says for Windows Update. It doesn't meet the system requirements for Windows 11, really? No, it says I'm up to date. Why wouldn't this meet the system requirements to run Windows 11? I don't know. Looks okay at your end, Jack? Even when I watch it here, it's all by design, of course. Needs a trusted platform module on the motherboard so they can sell all new hardware. Yeah. Yeah. Same, you know. Okay, we're testing our frequencies here. RatOS isn't even keeping up with, and it's rebooting there. There we go. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of this, but we'll switch over to the display anyways. Okay, so calculating the best input shaper parameters for X. Recommended shaper type is MZV, shaper frequency 60. And then so for MZV, where's the MZV recommendation for acceleration? ZV is 3500 acceleration. And then let's see what it's saying for Y. Recommended shaper Y. I should just, right now, I'm just going to save config. And it's going to reboot, and it's going to save all what it recommends, which is fine for me for now. Yeah, see, it's even my clipper screen here is rebooting and rebooting and rebooting. So there's no sense going on with these issues happening right now. So yeah, I think it's time to call it quits for tonight. Sorry about that, guys. I really do apologize for the issues we had. Thank you, Richard McLean, for the $5 super chat. And I will get this looked at this week and see if there's what's going on with the internet service provider and see if I can't get this to look a little better next week. I'm just going to check one more time here. Yeah, oh yeah, that is crazy. And I'm watching it back on 1080p HD, and it's like disgustingly blurry. Okay, we'll figure it out. That doesn't. There we go. Finally switched over. Reboot the modem, try network switches and outs. Yeah, I'll go through everything. I just want to do that right now. So thank you guys, everybody, for your patience and everything with this. And we'll sort of revisit this next week with the whole input shaper thing now that we got it working. So I'll talk to all you guys later. Bye.